Hi.
Hi.
My name's Angelica.
I'm Tom.
Nice to meet you. I'm a nurse practitioner in integrative health, and I'll be doing our comprehensive assessment today. It'll be about a 45-minute conversation. I'm going to ask you a lot of questions that may seem repetitive or silly. A lot of it's just standard stuff. Please let me know if you have any questions while throughout our time. I have these forms that you filled out earlier, so we'll go over those a little bit later. You have the phone number to the office already. You know how to reach me. In case of emergency, please call 911. I am here Monday through Friday. Do you have any questions before we get started?
I don't think so.
Okay. Oh, and the other thing is, we do follow confidentiality rules. Everything you say will be kept confidential between you and I. And I have your informed consent for all of these forms. Okay? Why don't you start just by telling me a little bit about why you came today?
It's kind of a tough question. I think it really just started with my mom. She kind of had a sit-down conversation with me last week and was like, I'm concerned that you're losing a lot of weight and that, you don't participate in meals anymore. I still live at home with my mom. And part of the reason for that is I have been pursuing my modeling career and I have an agent, which is really great, but he kind of let me know that some of the jobs that I've auditioned for haven't followed through because he thinks and some of the clients think that I weigh too much. So I've just kind of been cutting back on my food intake and here and there and trying to lose weight so I can make a living for myself. And yeah, that's really the root of it. I don't really see a big deal in it. How else am I going to lose weight unless I stop eating, But my mom seems to be concerned about it, so that's why I'm here.
Okay, that does sound really stressful. Let's talk a little bit just about your your past medical history and those kinds of things.
Okay.
Do you have any medical problems underlying?
I had reflux for a while, but I'm not taking any medications or anything for it. Seasonal allergies, but that's it.
Okay. How about, have you ever sought therapy before?
No, this is the first time.
Ever been hospitalized for either a medical reason or for a psychiatric reason?
Now that I think about it, when I was young, I broke my foot and I had to go to the ER for that, but that's it.
Okay. So never sought therapy, never hospitalized. Have you ever had any thoughts of harming yourself or others?
No.
Right now, do you feel that way at all?
No.
Okay. How about in your family? Do you have any family history of depression or suicide attempts?
Yeah, my brother has depression. He's depressed. I don't know if you can call it depression, or I don't really know. We don't talk about it that much in my family, but and maybe my dad too. But we're not really close, so I don't know.
Any bipolar, schizophrenia, mania, anything else you could think of?
I don't know. I don't really know what those are. But
okay, that's fine. So most importantly, though, this is your first time seeking therapy. Okay, great. Do you use do you take any medications right now?
I used to take a multivitamin, but I kind of ran out and I haven't been taking that, but that's it.
Okay. What about, we talk about substances. Do you use alcohol?
Just socially, I guess, yeah.
Have you ever felt like you need to cut back?
Yeah, I guess after a long weekend of binge drinking, but it's just kind of one of those things that kids my age do, so.
Sure. Do you use tobacco?
Again, sometimes when I drink, I'll smoke a cigarette, but not regularly.
How about marijuana? No. Any other drugs, opioids?
No.
And then how about caffeine use? Do you drink a lot of coffee?
Yeah, I drink coffee every once in a while.
Okay.
I feel like it helps me just kind of pee and get rid of any excess water and stuff I have in my body.
How many cups a day would you say?
Just 1 to 2, yeah.
Okay. That's fine. So, We talked about. So your mom wanted you to come here. When do you think that this all began for you? This stress around the modeling career and maybe you starting to cut back on your eating.
I would say probably over the last year, I've kind of had like a steady weight loss. Ups and downs. I think when I first got started, I kind of did it. I kind of crash dieted a little bit just to have a little bit of an edge because I was new.
When did you start modeling?
About a year ago at the
Okay.
same time. And then, I don't know, and then I think kind of with the feedback from my agent, I like started to cut back a little bit more and it just kind of like went on from there, you know. It's just hard because when I get that news from him, I just feel like I don't feel like doing anything. So it's like not even like I don't feel like eating. I don't feel like going out with my friends. I don't feel like, you know, exercising. I like want to just like lay in bed and do nothing and not interact with anyone. But I mean, I don't know.
So you wrote down on one of our forms you are 132 pounds right now?
I think something like that.
Do you know what you were about a year ago before you started modeling?
I don't know. Maybe like 175.
Oh wow, so you have lost about 40 pounds in a year.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's part of that was just that initial crash diet. Part of that was just kind of like this snowballing weight loss that I just felt was necessary. I don't know. I'm not going to the gym a lot, so I don't know how much of that is like muscle or whatever.
Okay. How about so you mentioned mood. You feel like you don't really want to do things anymore. Do you feel like you have this kind of sad mood more days than not? So it's kind of your baseline. Like every day you're feeling really sad lately.
Lately, yeah.
Have you ever felt the opposite of that? Felt really excited or happy, not really yourself? Because you mentioned ups and downs.
Yeah, I think situationally, like whenever I do get a job, which is rare, but I like that's like a moment of excitement, but it, you know, it fades when the job is over and you know I have to go back on auditions, and I think it's just a lot of no's in the context of a very few amount of yeses, so it's just disappointing.
Yeah, that's a really, really hard job. So that induces a lot of anxiety, I'm assuming. Do you ever feel like it's difficult to control the worry?
Yes and no. I think that sometimes when I go on long periods of time without kind of any social time with my friends and just without any jobs or anything, I kind of just perseverate on like my failures and just my weight and doing everything I can to just try and like optimize my success. But
Do you ever have panic attacks?
no. That's like when you freak out and like hyperventilate, right? Yeah, no.
Yeah. Have you ever thought that you're hearing things that might not be there, or seeing things that might not be there?
No.
Or have you ever felt like someone is trying to hurt you, or felt kind of paranoid about something?
No.
How about any unwarranted thoughts or urges, kind of like obsessions?
I don't think so.
Unrelated to the food, anything like you feel like you physically have to do in order to continue?
Sorry, I'm just
okay.
thinking. Anything that I have to do to.
Maybe some people like feel like they need to count to 20 before turning a light off or something like that.
Oh no, nothing like that.
No. Okay. What about, have there been any traumatic events in your life? Has anything really terrible happened?
I mean, right before I graduated high school, my best friend died in a car accident, which was obviously like a hard time. But you know, what are you gonna do? I guess.
Your symptoms didn't start around then.
No, I mean, I didn't. have this weight loss until I decided to do modeling. It was kind of like a spur of the moment thing, honestly. But
how about, have you had any memory problems recently? Trouble, remembering things, long term, short term?
maybe some short-term stuff, but not just like anything crucial or important. Like not the essentials, but maybe like a little bit of like little things I tell myself to do. I don't know how much of it is me forgetting and how much of it is me just not wanting to do it.
Sure. We'll do what's called a mini mental status exam later. That's just a little basic exam. And then how about any physical symptoms have you been having? Like some people get a really upset stomach or they get hot flashes with their anxiety.
I mean, my stomach doesn't feel great sometimes. I mean, I think just when I go through longer periods without eating, like it's weird because like eating makes my stomach feel bad, and I think that's maybe because of like the reflux that I have. Maybe it's because I'm not eating like as regularly, but I think not eating can also kind of like make my stomach upset, and I don't know, like I get like intermittent periods of nausea, and I'm just kind of like it makes me not even want to eat even more, and I just it just kind of makes it worse. I don't know.
So let's talk about your eating patterns in general.
Okay.
Most recently, can you describe maybe a day? What you would eat in one day? Let's take yesterday, for example.
Let's see. I mean, I drink a lot of water.
Okay.
So I do that. And I had a coffee like I do every morning. Let's see. I don't even remember what I ate. I think I had like a banana around lunchtime. Sometimes I like pick at dinner and I don't remember what my mom made. Yeah, I think I might have. No, honestly, I think I skipped dinner last night too. So that's pretty much it.
So you pretty much had a cup of coffee, water, and a banana yesterday?
Yeah. But the day before that, I ate like a salad, like a big salad. And so I thought that was good. But.
Okay. Have you ever felt the need to binge eat or eat a lot and then purge afterwards?
No.
Do you ever use laxatives or any diuretics?
I mean, besides, what's a diuretic? Is like coffee is like a diuretic, right?
Technically, do you take a diuretic, a water pill?
No.
Okay. So it sounds like your behaviors around eating is more just avoidance.
Pretty much, yeah.
Do you have, we mentioned phobias a little bit. Do you have a fear related to food or weight gain? Does the thought of gaining weight scare you?
Not in the way that like a scary movie scares me, but I think in a way that like it more just like I just think that it would lead to my failure, and failure scares me. So I think so. Yeah, I think there's a connection with that a little bit, but not like in a frightening kind of way. I don't know.
So it's kind of like a negative consequence. Like if you associate food with negative. If you eat, you will gain weight, which will be bad.
I mean, yeah.
How do you feel about your body right now?
I mean, it's hard because I know that people say that I'm skinny and I've lost a lot of weight, but at the same time, like I'm not seeing a lot of like results in my job, and it's just hard because the friends that I have that are also in this field, like one, I don't want to hang out with them because they're all getting jobs, and so I don't really feel like up to par and like adequate and worthy to even spend time with them. But like, I look at them and I'm like, I try and like get have the same body type, and it's so hard because I think I look at them and I think they look good, but then when I look at myself in the mirror, I just look terrible and just tired and like just fat. I don't know. Like.
So you feel overall like you're overweight. Do you feel like any certain parts of you, especially Like some people perseverate on, their thighs or something like that. Like, is
I
there?
mean, yeah, I can pick out every little body part that I don't like, like my hips, like my underneath my chin, my calves, my like area in between my arm and my shoulders,
Okay,
in
so
between my thighs,
sure. So
pretty much everywhere.
so you definitely have a lot of negative thoughts around your body. But you did mention you had a 40-pound weight loss.
Mm.
Do you feel like you look better now compared to before you lost all that weight?
I mean, I want to say yes, but at the same time, I kind of just feel like I've been stagnant. Like I just kind of feel the same. Like I don't, even though I've lost weight, I don't feel any better because unless I'm like kind of.
Yeah, how have your energy levels been?
Pretty like low.
Mm-hmm.
Coffee helps a little bit, but I wish that I was a little bit more energetic. But I kind of just take that as part of that is because I'm sad that I'm not doing well.
And that's true. I mean, people who experience depression or depressive episodes do have a loss of energy, so that could be part of it. I think that nutritively you are lacking in some of the caloric intake, and that definitely is also affecting your energy levels. So, how do you feel about the situation in general? Do you feel like this is a huge problem that you want to address? Do you feel like you're kind of being forced here? What is your take on the whole situation? What is your goal?
Like obviously, I want to be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I don't know. I like want to be successful too, and I just kind of like I missed the boat on applying to college. Like there was so much going on in high school. Like I don't if this doesn't work out, I don't know what I'm gonna do, and it just that scares me, and I don't know, and I can part of me like justifies like not eating as much, and it's like I know that that's not good. But I don't know. Obviously, like my mom was upset, and that made me come in, and that upset me, and makes me feel like a little bit more like that this is a problem. But at the same time, I don't feel like I'm ready to like kind of change my habits yet. I don't know.
It's hard to make these huge changes. I think we need to, look at the big picture and look at everything that's going on and kind of get you back in a place where you're happy and healthy. And I think it'll take some work, but I think that there's a lot of changes we can make. So I know we went over some of these forms, and the first one we did was the level 1 form, and you talked in here a lot about feeling kind of down and depressed, which is some things we've been talking about, and that you've kind of had like a lack of interest in doing things. You mentioned, you don't want to go out with your friends and do all those kinds of things. So that does lead me to believe that you're kind of going through sort of a depressive episode. So that's why I also gave you the level 2 form. And you talk about things like feeling worthless and helpless and feeling sad. So in regards to these, I definitely want to address, these sad feelings with our therapy, but also on top of, the eating issues that we have. So additionally, we did this third form called the HUDAS, and this just shows kind of things you might be struggling on in your daily life. So things you mentioned, like about concentrating, we talked about body image and difficulty in work and school. So those are all things that we'll be working on. I also just wanted to do that basic little mini mental status exam, so I'm just going to ask some silly questions. Okay? Can you just tell me today's date?
April the 11th. 2016.
And what day of the week is it today?
It's Monday.
And what season is it?
It's spring. Almost, maybe. I don't know.
And where are we right now?
We're in Waterbury, Connecticut.
And okay. And then I'm going to say 3 words, and then I'm going to ask you to repeat them, and then I'll ask you again to repeat them a little bit later.
Okay.
Ball.
Ball.
Let me see it.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Oh, I'm sorry. After all 3 words, then I'll have you repeat them, okay?
Okay.
Ball, flag, tree.
Ball, flag, tree.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask you to start with 100 and count backwards by 7s.
100, 93, 86, 79, 72, 65.
Good. That's good. Thank you. Can you spell the word world backwards?
DLROW.
And then how about those 3 words that I mentioned earlier?
Ball, flag, pole,
Tree.
okay, tree.
Close enough. And then can you tell me what this item is?
A pen.
And can you tell me what this item is?
A cup.
Thank you. And then I'm going to hand you a piece of paper, and I'd like you to take the paper in your hand, fold it in half, and then put it on the floor. Great. Can you repeat the following phrase? No ifs, ands, or buts.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
All right. And then I'm going to hand you this piece of paper again and ask you to write a sentence, any sentence you'd like. Little Red Riding Hood, okay. And if you can just copy this shape right here.
It's a pentagon. I don't know. Is it? Yeah, no, it is.
It's kind of 2 shapes.
Oh, do you want me to do both of them?
Yes, I'd like you to create the entire shape.
Okay. I'm gonna just do it like that instead.
I know we're not artistic. It's totally fine. Great. That works. All right, that's the end of those silly questions.
Okay.
So we've got that baseline stuff under control. I do want to talk a little bit more about your eating patterns. So you described a typical day, what yesterday was. Do you ever eat less than that?
Yeah, usually. I mean, I try and eat some type of solid food every day, so that's probably like as little as it gets. I feel like I mean, like I said before, I'm kind of like, this is all, talking about this is all very new to me. So, I mean, like, over the last year, like, have there been days where I eat less than that? Probably. But generally speaking, I, like, don't eat, at least. I do eat at least, like, a little bit of, like, solid food so that I can, like, have a little bit of energy and stuff, but.
It sounds like this agent that you have is really hard on you.
I mean, yeah, he's a dick, but he's the best in the business, they say, so I don't know.
Is there any way you can maybe get a different agent or kind of seek another route in this career?
I mean, maybe. I'm afraid because he has so much pull, like, and has so many connections that if I leave him and don't stick with that, like him, that like he's gonna kind of just tarnish my reputation in the community, and then I'm not gonna ever get a job. So it's just kind of one of those. I don't know. At the same time, I feel like people have also kind of made comments about him, knowing that he's kind of like a harsh personality. So maybe they would be empathetic. I'm not really sure, but it's just kind of, I don't know if I want to run that risk.
So you feel like it's kind of normative in this business, to be going through these difficulties.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like literally, that's another thing, is that people have worse eating habits than me. I mean, I don't eat weird. Like the cotton ball thing they talk about is real. Like people do that, and I don't do. I mean, like I don't do scary stuff like that. But
so you think that you've relatively kind of got a handle on it.
I mean, in comparison to some of the people that I'm around, then yeah.
That's true. And comparing yourself to other people is, that's a way a lot of people cope. Do you have any other ways that you feel like you cope with this situation?
I mean,
do you have?
I don't really. It's not. I don't know if I feel like I cope with it as much as I feel like I just. I don't know. I rationalize it in my mind a lot, and then I just. When I can commit to, like, I'm stubborn about it, and so I can commit. If I tell myself I'm not gonna eat for a certain amount of time, like I will like cope by like with hunger or with like other or with like being around food by like making up excuses. Like I'm good at it, and just avoid like not being around food. Like I don't keep it in my room. Like I don't keep it near me. Like I don't go to pizza. I don't go to things where like I feel like I'm gonna eat bad, because then if I do, I just feel guilty for days.
So it sounds like you think a lot about food.
I mean, yeah, I have to in order to avoid it. I have to consciously be like aware of like where there is food around me, and so that it's not like tempting me and just not consuming me.
I don't know how you have room to think about anything else.
I mean, yeah.
So it's almost like not eating is a reward. It's almost a positive association. Like you not eating is like you doing a good thing.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you're kind of torn between, is this a problem or am I doing something good for myself?
Yeah, I mean, I think as of late, because of kind of the conversation my mom had. I mean, in the beginning, I felt that way too. I think that there was like just a long period of time in the middle there where like I was more I wasn't thinking of it as much as thinking of it as a problem as much, but I mean, my mom had this conversation with me, and I'm here, and I get it to some degree.
That's great. That's a huge first step in addressing, what may or may not be a problem and what's going to be therapeutic. We talked about coping mechanisms. Is there anything else you do that helps to make you feel better? Anything you do what do you do for pleasure? What do you like to do for fun?
Not much of anything anymore.
Is there anything that can get your mind off of the food?
I mean, I used to like to go on hikes, but it's like weather dependent because we're in New England. I mean, I used to like going out with my friends more, but that's kind of been falling off the face of the earth a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, tell me about your relationships with peers. Do you have close friends? Do you have friends you can talk with about this?
I have one friend from high school who I still talk to pretty regularly, but I haven't seen her in a long time. She's away at school, so I mean, yeah, I have other friends that are models, but they're more like going out kind of friends, and we don't talk about like life stuff. And
Yeah.
then I have my mom and.
Do you have any non-model friends that you're able to talk about, food and body image with when you're kind of stressed out about that?
I know this is like embarrassing, but sometimes like I'll talk to people on Instagram and like kind of social media because I think that there's like you can like search hashtags and it shows up with all like people that kind of.
So you kind of seek out your own support systems.
Yeah, in that sense, I guess, but it's not something I do often. It's just kind of every once in a while, like if I feel particularly like I'm struggling with my weight or I don't know, I kind of reach out to those people.
Yeah.
It's not always like a good thing though, because if they have the same, if they're not in a good place, then I think that they like just make it worse or like almost encourage me to continue, and I think I'm sometimes seeking someone when I do that, like subconsciously, but seeking someone to like kind of tell me that what I'm doing is not good. I don't know.
Very common. Is there anything else you can say about your perception about the situation as a whole? Why you think this is happening, how you think you got here?
I know. I other than kind of what I've said, I don't really have another good rhyme or reason for why I'm here. It's just been like when you asked me about like how long it's been since I've started losing weight, and it's hard to believe that it's a year. It kind of flew by. So how did I get from point A to point B? It's just kind of all a blur. But.
Well, you're in the right place now, and I think we've talked about a lot of great things, and I think we can do a lot of great work. Do you have any questions about what we went over today?
I mean, I don't know. Where do we go from here, I guess?
So I think, talk with your mom a little bit, and then we can maybe plan to meet again next week, and then maybe meet weekly for a while.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
I mean, yeah, I guess I'll do what I'll have to do. What I have to do. And you want me to talk to my mom, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah, I will.
If you'd like me to talk with her as well.
No, not right now. I mean, I don't want you to.
Okay. That's perfectly fine. But if you're open to coming again next week, I think we can talk about this again and kind of formulate a plan.
Okay. Yeah, I'll come back. Sounds good.
All right. Well, thank you very much for meeting with me.
Nice to meet you.
Great meeting you too.
Take care.
All right. Take care.